What are tariffs? Who is paying for them? And why is the European Commission negotiating them and not the EU countries? Stay with us to better understand what tariffs are and how they can impact us EU citizens.
25% tariff.
Today's tariffs.
Question on tariffs.
We keep hearing that tariffs are bad and that they raise prices, but ultimately, who pays for these tariffs? Let's explain this with an example involving shoes imports. Suppose country A exports shoes to country B. Initially, there are no tariffs, but then country B imposes a 10% tariff on these imports. As a result, importers from country B, such as clothing stores, must pay this tariff to their government. The key question is whether consumers in country B will experience a 10% price increase for their shoes. The answer is not necessarily. The stores can choose the extent to which they pass this cost on to their customers. They might increase shoe prices by the full 10%, or alternatively, they could absorb some of the expense by raising prices by only 5% and accepting reduced profit margins to cover the rest. So who ends up paying for the tariffs? Ultimately, it's the consumers and businesses in country B, the country that imposed the tariffs, who bears the cost. In essence, tariffs function as a tax imposed by the government that affects the domestic economy. But what is their essence? Let me tell you a story about tariffs. Back in 1962, Germany was buying a lot of American chicken, about $50 million worth. To protect European farmers, the EU's early version, the European Economic Community, put tariffs on that American chicken. The US didn't like that, so they hit back, not with chicken, but with tariffs on other goods, like light trucks. That's right, a chicken fight turned into a car tax. Now, why is the European Commission negotiating tariffs and not your president or prime minister? There are two main reasons why this happens. One, it's a lot more advantageous for the EU to negotiate as a bloc of 27 countries. When you go to the negotiation table as a single market of 450 million people, you have a huge amount of leverage in obtaining better deals. And this means that all the EU countries win, since we all follow the same rules. The other reason is that EU countries, when they join the Union, voluntarily give this negotiating power to the Commission. The EU's centralized trade policy started in 1957 with the Treaty of Rome.
It grew stronger with each new treaty, and by 2009, international trade became the exclusive responsibility of the EU. The Commission leads the negotiations and represents the EU's interests, closely cooperating with both the Council of the EU, which represents the member states, and the European Parliament, which represents EU citizens. Once the deal is on the table, it goes to the Council and the Parliament for official approval.
Trade agreements are more than just economic paperwork. They shape how countries interact, compete, and grow. For businesses, they create opportunities, opening access to new markets, reducing tariffs, and cutting red tape. For consumers, they often mean more choices and better prices, while still protecting quality and safety standards. For the environment and labor rights, modern trade deals can raise the bar, setting rules that promote sustainable practices and fair working conditions. And politically, they build trust and cooperation between countries, reducing tensions and strengthening international partnerships. In a global economy, no country or union stands alone. Share your thoughts about this in the comments, and stay up to date with the latest developments in the European Union by subscribing to our channel.